Hi everyone, this is Janelle from the customer success team at Funnel, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about file storage and data warehouses and what goes into setting up a specific export to one of those. So, as a little recap, for file storage, a funnel is part of a bigger picture, as in you're using funnel as a source to get data into your data lake, or your data in general just isn't ready for a data warehouse. Then send it over to a file storage to do additional transformations before sending it to a database. We mostly recommend this because a file storage is cheaper to put files into it versus a data warehouse, especially if the data isn't completely ready yet or you're not entirely sure what you're going to do with that data yet. For a data warehouse, if your data is already prepared in Funnel and you want it directly for reporting purposes, then choose a database. We recommend you know exactly what you want to export/store because it can be costly to send unprepared files. Moving on to how to go ahead and set up a specific share. So step number one is to define where the file should go. So if you want a file storage, some examples from Funnel are SFTP, Google Cloud Storage, Microsoft Azure Blob Storage, or Amazon S3. If you're going to go with the data warehouse option, we have Google BigQuery, Snowflake, and Amazon Redshift. We do have other destinations such as Oracle DB, MySQL, MongoDB that can be requested to be built out for you by our integration engineers. And you can go ahead and see them listed when you're going through the different destinations. Step number two is to define where that's located. So if you choose to go with a specific data warehouse or a specific file storage, where it's located varies depending on which destination you choose. It could be referred to as, for example, account identifier if you choose to go with Snowflake, S3 bucket name if you choose to go with Amazon S3, Google Cloud Project ID and bucket if you go with Google BigQuery, host name if you go with SFTP, so on and so forth. So we would definitely recommend that once you know which destination you want it to be, to find out where that destination is located. Step number three is to authenticate. So methods vary between data warehouse or file storage options, as well as the way your company particularly prefers to authenticate. It could be through tokens or username and passwords, etc. If you don't know how to authenticate or you don't have the ability or permissions to authenticate, we recommend reaching out to your IT team for guidance. And then step number four is actually setting up the share within Funnel. So once you go and click into the destination and you go into setting up a share, you'll get hit with some of these options. So to set up an export, you would have to pick which time series you would like the export to be in. So you can also choose to export data without dates, which can be used for mapping or joining with other data. But you will be asked for it to choose a time series if that's not an option for you. And then you can choose which fields you would like to include in that specific share. And then you can apply any filters that you would deem valuable to include in for those fields. You can also choose the currency, the date range, scheduled export time, and then the optional options are notes and notifications. So if you have a lot of people working within the same workspace and you have a lot of shares set up, we do recommend including a little blurb in the notes section just to kind of let your team know what the purpose of this specific share is. And we would also recommend setting up the notifications for those shares just in case there's ever any delayed exports or any errors that occur. You'll get notified as soon as it happens. And if it's a file storage instead of a data warehouse share, you will also be given the option between exporting as a TSV, CSV, or Parquet file. But that's about it for setting up either a data warehouse or file storage share. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to our support team at support@funnel.io or through our in-app chat, and we'd be happy to help. Thank you. Bye.